Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of D&D Wyndburgh. As per usual, I am Commander Rod, and I am your host and DM. Let's just go right into it. Hello, and welcome. Last time we were here was 3 weeks ago. Um, and everybody, don't worry that Gimnir's picture is not up right now. I believe Rowan's computer died, so they won't show up. But Gimnir is here with us. But yeah, welcome back. In our last session, which was 3 weeks ago, before I came to America,
He came.
I came. I'm gonna come, and so I came. Um, we what is happening? I can I can hear myself. Oh, do I hear myself on Emily's computer? Is that what's happening? I don't know. Anyway, um, last time we were here, we had a big old fight against Sararak and his newly revealed minion, Ripley, who Kirith attempted to revive using the power of the Father Forge. This is so weird. Hold 1 second. That's what it is. Okay. So the thing that I have on right now, I think I fixed it. There. My monitor was for some reason broadcasting my audio. Comrade Bucket says a truly ludicrous amount of Dungeons and Dragons are here. So yes, the dungeons and the dragons are all here. Anyway, um last time we had a big old fight against a Sararak and his minions, one of which was Ripley. You all fought White Knights, you fought Shades, you fought an ogre, and during the fight, Saltbrook, you achieved your first Ascended Awakening after you hit that incredible 135 points of damage in
Wasn't
one
it more than
turn.
that?
Was it 135 or was it more?
I don't remember.
I could have sworn it was 135, but I could be
It
mistaken.
was something big.
That is 150.
150. Huh. Oh, sorry. Thank you so much for your subscription.
3 years, Rod.
36 months.
3 years.
Is this the 3-year mark? I guess it is.
Yes.
Well, since we did miss your birthday when it comes to a session, for your birthday gift, you do have access to a free inspiration, apart from one that you may already have. And yeah. So, towards the end of the fight, Sararak made the dastardly decision to strike Slayer with a power word kill, which threw him down to the ground, much to the dismay of Ithilden, who, as far as she knows, she has 2 dead Warforged on her ledger.
Shut up.
After defeating Ripley with that Eldritch Blast, Saltbrook, you all saw him turn to dust and disappear. As far as you understand, he's gone. Sararak was then defeated shortly after by the party, which returned Kirith to the battlefield. She had been sent into an eldritch maze by Sararak's power, and with Sararak's defeat, she returned.
Also, not to be that guy, but silver lining, we have some Warforged parts now.
Oh my god.
Listen,
Damn.
Too soon. It's
Damn.
technically immediately right after.
It's been 3 weeks, apparently. Rowan said.
man's isn't even fucking. Well, I guess they're already cold. Colder.
Well, we return in the immediate aftermath of how things ended. As the tension of the battle lowers and you're all able to breathe, the pitter patter of rain begins to hit your armor, and Thalion reverts from his enlarged state, returns to his regular large form, and some of the raindrops extinguish the flames on some of the candles that surround the Father Forge. Its ethereal golden glow, not diminished at all. Use the Warforged parts to build a chair. It's what he would have wanted. It's a wheelchair. Ethel, in front of you lies Slayer, and on the ground next to Slayer's body, you see two small objects that seem to have fallen off of his body.
Well, what are they?
Would you like to investigate them?
Yes.
Okay. Hit me with that investigation check.
No, I don't want to investigate that. For Christ's sake. Oh, hold on. She's loading. Oh, a 15.
A 15. As you take these components into your hand, you notice that one of them is essentially a sphere. This is more cubic, but imagine a sphere. And the other one is longer, more of a cylindrical shape to it. You note that they are still warm, and the longer object seems to have been destroyed. It's as if it burned itself. The other object, the cube that we can see here, it emanates this glow, this energy glow. It's almost as if it's still pulsating with power.
Okay. I pick it up.
Okay. As you touch the object and begin to move it back to your person, give me a dexterity check.
Oh. What would a 27 get me, King?
Oh, God. Okay. As you begin to retrieve this item and pull it back towards you, your ears perk up and you feel the hairs on your body just rise. And you instinctively manage to dodge this. But Slayer's hand moves upwards, trying to catch it out of your hand. And he just sits up. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't gesture. He just sits up. And he looks around.
If it like yelps and falls back on her ass because what the fuck?
He's sitting down and with his legs splayed in front of him and his arms by his side. And he just looks over at you, Ethilden. And then he looks around and looks at you, Gimnir, at Kirith, Kira, Saltbrook. And then he takes a moment and he just stands back up to his feet. And he looks at you, Ethel, and he extends his hand, essentially asking you to return the item.
Okay, I do.
As you do, you see him take a knee, and he's holding the item with his right hand. His left hand reaches over his shoulder and presses something on his back. You hear a as there's a plate around his spine, and it detaches itself slowly, revealing these small compartments along the length of his spine. And you see that of these compartments that are 10, you see that 3 of those have similar objects. They vary in shape, but they're all roughly the same size. And he slots the object into one of the empty spaces. And as he slots it in, you just hear another he touches the same location as before, and the plate moves back into place and closes. You see Slayer's shoulders he just rolls them forward a little bit and stretches his neck. And in a movement that resembles a deep breath, he takes a deep breath.
Gimnir just quietly goes, You wouldn't happen to be able to do that for anyone else, could you?
Kira, if I'm not mistaken, Kira started learning Draconic Sign Language.
Yes, she did.
Not dominant.
I think she had 2 training sessions, and you said I fully learned it.
Gotcha. To both you and Ithilden, Kira, he signs. I am not quite sure of who you speak of.
I sign back. I think he means our friend Grim.
Slayer takes a moment, and he pulls his helmet out, and he looks around, and he signs, "You know Grim?"
He was our friend.
He looks over at you, Ithilden, and he signs, "You also know him?"
Slayer, we've had this conversation.
As soon as you say his name, his eyes, essentially his eye sockets widen slightly, and he signs, "You know my name."
You don't remember anything, do you?
He takes a moment to look around, and his eyes focus on Kirith, and he signs, without removing his gaze from her, he signs, "No, but I really wish I did."
I stop using Draconic Sign Language, and I turn to the rest of the party, and I say he doesn't remember a thing.
Did he hard reset? What happened?
Do you say that?
Yeah.
Slayer looks at Ithilden, and he nods and signs to her what he wants to tell you. And he signs, "I don't understand why I don't remember, but somehow I feel at peace among you."
Well, that's good, because we're friends, you idiot. She, goes to help him get on his feet.
He accepts.
Oh my god. Sorry.
Dies of death.
I'm still not doing great.
Yeah, we're still both recovering from the flu.
Oh, hush, he's fine.
He looks down on the ground, and he sees the other object. Oh, this one's gone. And he stoops over and he grabs it, and he examines it in his hand. And there's a look of realization in his eyes. He places it on the pillar nearby and signs to you, Ethel. That is a capsule upgrade system. If I don't remember what happened, it could be that that's a revivifier.
You mean you wouldn't know?
Like I said, I can't remember.
You don't remember what just happened. You don't know how you got here.
No. But I do know where we are.
What? Tracks?
So just the short term is gone?
That depends. Last thing I remember was being at the high ice. How long ago was that?
Couple of
What
weeks.
was that?
Huh?
Week or two. Couldn't be much more than that.
High ice was about a month ago. You had 1
But-
month to rest in Wyndburgh.
Well,
We also don't know how long he was at the high ice, though.
True.
true. And if he doesn't remember the siege, then could be a while back.
Do you remember the siege? Well, wait, if you don't remember us, then probably doesn't.
I remember pieces. I remember smoke in the air, screams, flame. And I remember her. And he points directly at Kirith. Vaguely, at least.
So we're looking at just barely over a month.
What happened to the high ice?
It survived.
You see
He
his
managed to keep-
you see his shoulders relax as you say that. He says, "Okay, good." And you helped us.
She just nods.
Okay.
I also won.
I'll nod because everyone else is nodding.
He takes a moment.
Ymir does not
Oh.
nod. He does not notice anyone else nodding. He's just still kind of in shock.
We're on that -1 intelligence.
um he takes a moment and he thinks, and then he speaks. If I lost my memories like that, it would have been from something traumatic, something powerful. And for this, and he grabs the component in his hands, and for this to have to be used, it must have been bad. What happened?
You died.
He takes a moment.
Blunt.
As soon as you say that, he sort of stops, and he looks over at you, and he says, "It's a good thing I had it then."
I'll
Very.
say.
Warforged don't come back. At least none
Oh.
have so far.
She like awkwardly like slaps him on the shoulder. She's like, "Well, let's hope this is a good trend then."
Well, where to?
I want to put him in a padded room so he can never get hurt again.
Well, can we address that this didn't work? What next? What now?
This didn't work. What exactly is this?
I believe there was some properties past just the forge not working in play.
That's impossible. The Father Forge does not fail.
I assume you know of a Sararak?
When you speak this name, Solbrook, you see him take a slight step back. And he says,
No, we are not part of his retinue. We gonna point to the pile of ashes that may or may not have been a Sararak. I'm not sure which one poofed anymore.
He looks
You
over.
can talk to him if you want to.
He looks
Don't
over
worry, Cat.
and he stares at the pile of ash. You stopped him?
This was the second time, I believe.
And as you say that, you hear in a weak, quivering voice, not characteristic to her. Third, actually. Third time.
Oh. Third for you, second for us, I believe.
Yes, dingus.
I don't know. I wasn't been with this party the entire time. Maybe they banished the Sararak before I was here.
And Kirith turns around for a moment, and she looks over where Ripley was defeated. And she makes her way there.
To
Stopping,
the pair of boots that he is still.
staring at a longsword piercing the ground. The longsword that Ripley had. From a distance, you can't really see what she's doing, but you do notice that she kneels. And she bends slightly forward to touch the hilt of the longsword. And she stands back up. She looks at you, Saltbrook, and she says, "You,
Yes.
what do you know of undead? This goes for anyone here. Doesn't have to be you."
What do I know of undead? I'll need a little assistance with that one. I don't really know if I'd know much about the undead. I used to be a paladin, I guess.
That's true.
I guess I would know something about the undead.
They really, really don't like being hit.
I'll point to Gimnir with like a little I agree with you wagging finger. Like, yeah, that one.
Saltbrook and
I am
Gimnir.
old.
Saltbrook and Gimnir, both of you, I need wisdom checks.
Alright.
I am old. What would I
Gonna
know?
be a 12.
Undead specifically, Ithil, I feel like that's not your field of expertise, despite being a ranger.
But
I'm gonna roll on
old.
my character sheet just a flat d20 for Gimnir because I don't have access to the character sheet at the moment.
Sure.
They have no modifier.
Yeah, Gimnir has no modifier. Saltbrook, your modifier is +2. That's a 12?
16.
Okay. So, Gimnir, you understand what she's asking you. She's asking what has happened to Ripley. And she's asking specifically because he must be undead. He wouldn't do that. Whatever has happened to him is different. So with a 16, Gimnir, you know...
No, I got this one.
Okay.
I got this one.
Okay.
He may know what she's asking, but he still has a -1 intelligence.
True.
He doesn't know as much. He doesn't know exactly. So Gimni's just gonna say, well, I know a bit of undead. I've fought them before, but I have not seen this. I can't help you. I'm sorry.
She takes a moment.
Maybe it's a good time to speak to someone I haven't spoken to in a while, huh?
Oh. You gonna try it?
I'm gonna try it.
Okay. Give
Do I
me...
have to-
Yeah, give me a wisdom check.
Wisdom check. Ooh, that's a 5. I'm gonna inspiration that with the free one that I got today.
For birthday.
Is it a check or a save?
It's a check.
Okay. Wow. 15.
Okay. And then give me a constitution check.
Constitution check. It's gonna be a 9.
Okay. And finally give me an arcana check.
Arcana check. It's gonna be a 17.
Gotcha. Saltbrook, as you close your eyes to begin scrying, tell me the memory that you latch onto to
The
hold
memory of
to hold you
Ripley?
true during this scrying.
Think it would probably have to be the trade deal that I made to learn how to use a deck of cards when I first saw Ripley's card.
Okay. Okay. As your mind focuses on that memory, you feel the ground around you fall away, and darkness envelops you from every direction. And far away, in infinite distance, you see a small pinprick of fire, of light, and it begins to approach rapidly. Around you, you see the 9 layers of the 9 hells pass by you. Avernus passes on your right, Dis passes on your left, Minauros above you, Phlegethos underneath you, Stygia to your top left, Malbolge on the top right, Maladomini on the lower left, and Kanya on their lower right. And finally, you come to the last layer, Nessus, a land of extremes in the Great Wheel. And then you see Aragon sits on his throne, distracted, and he notices your presence. He looks up towards you. One moment.
Yes.
So you have finally come, Saltbrook. It has been quite a long time since we last spoke.
I suppose so.
Tell me, what is it that you seek?
From this audience with me.
Knowledge, as usual.
And I see you've yet to deliver me my daughter. Care to explain why that is?
Sorry, I've completely forgotten. What was the objective he gave me about his daughter? Throwing her back to him?
It was essentially bring her back to the 9 hells, to imprison her.
Murder time stabby.
He doesn't want her dead, he wants her back.
I see. The task you've given me has enough nuance and challenge as it is. This task is going to take additional time due to the value of Kirith in the party.
Excuses, excuses, excuses. You really have not changed. Have
I
you,
haven't seen you
Saltbrook?
fighting a Sararak, now have I?
Fighting a Sararak is none of my business. In fact, it's good for my business that a Sararak is able to exist. Defeating him as you have is a mere delay in his business dealings, as it were.
Regardless, as I said, it's going to take time.
Time that you do not have, Saltbrook. Time that you are borrowing from me.
I think you forget I entered this pact as a willing side. It's not on the brink of death when I called to you. I came to you in rage. I came to you in anger and sorrow. You'll have my soul when I die, not a moment sooner. As per our contract.
Saltbrook, you think me a bad businessman if you truly believe that I have no fail-safes.
And as he says this, he snaps his fingers, and you feel your wrists be splayed to the side, and same with your ankles. You're held in essentially this open arms, open legs position, restrained in the air.
And I will do nothing but give contempt back.
You speak to me as if I am some contemptible little fiend out of Avernus. You speak to me as if you do not own me your entire existence. You will speak to me with the reverence of the Hell King. And if you do not, our contract is null and void. As per the contract itself, you serve me, Pact Maker. And when I am satisfied with you, when I am satisfied with you, not if, because you will satisfy me. When I am satisfied, then I will give your soul an end.
Further contemptuous glare.
Are we understood, mortal scum?
As it was, and as it is and will be.
Go on. Use the honorific.
Hell King. The
Here.
wood is dripping with.
Yes. You're goddamn right.
He releases you from the restraints and allows you to go back to the ground. And he then speaks to you in a less menacing way.
You are here for information. The Hell King will abide. What is it that you seek?
What's Ripley's last name again? Actually, would I even know what Ripley's last name is?
No. All you know about him is that his name is Ripley.
I see. During our brawl with the Sararek, he summoned a previously living member of Kirith's party. You may recognize the name Ripley.
When you speak those words, when you say that name out loud, there's a glint in Aragon's eyes. A glint of recognition.
Well, I certainly did not expect the cur to make its way back onto the mortal plane. Tell me, which one of them was it?
What do you mean by that?
Come now. Search your mind.
And he snaps his fingers, and I need you to give me an Arcana check.
13.
A 13. You thinking back to it, you notice, you realize that it isn't just the fact that you were fighting Ripley. You notice that it's almost as if there was a second presence where he was. Almost as if there's a second Ripley. And the presence you felt is deep, it's dark, it's heavy, it is oppressive. The presence within feels almost like an old friend, but one that you never got to meet.
It was a dark entity, much akin to its running mates in that fight.
Ridley Senior, then. Well, what you have here is a broken soul. What a Serac pulled forth was not Ridley himself. The Ridley that Kyrith has been waiting for is back to life. But he is not in control. The Ridley you witness is his father. I'm sure you are familiar with where Kalashtar is, correct?
Roughly.
When a Kalashtar is separated from their Korai spirit, they die. Now, what if I told you that it is possible to fill that void with something else? In fact, it is a way to achieve what some would call immortality. A way to send the soul forwards, dormant, waiting to come out, like a virus. Rippy's father is one of the first servants I ever employed in the mortal plane. Never did I think that he would kill himself before allowing his own father to take control. But that is exactly what we have here. Poor
See.
boy. The child must have realized his father's own ambitions. In fact, the task I am giving you to return me my daughter is a task I gave him in the first place.
On the topic of that, how exactly should I go about returning her to you?
A true hellspawn cannot die, so long as they're not within the 9 hells. Even I, Saltbrook, if slain within the 9 hells, would perish forever. As you know, fiends and demons killed outside of our town realm simply disappear and are brought back to the 9 hells. Death within our plane is irreversible. However, death outside is exactly what we need. Kill her, so when she least expects it. Whether you do it by dagger at night or whether you poison her, see to it that she dies. But when she does, she'll be returned to me.
I see. So Ripley's father. This is confusing. He's a part of himself, but a part. I see. Okay. Very well then. I don't believe I have a further question.
The next time that Ripley makes his appearance known, or he will, you cannot kill a revenant, not in any way that matters. While Kyrith lives, Ripley will not be destroyed. Kill Kyrith, and you spare your party, your friends, your family, Solkrak, of being tracked down by an unstoppable revenant. It's a win-win situation for the two of us.
And how do I win from that?
Your victory is not being consumed by me. That is your victory.
Wonderful. Very well. murder Kirith. Hmm. This will be an interesting day.
Goodbye, Josiah.
Open my eyes.
Solbrook, as you open your eyes, you feel cold steel touching your throat. You all see this. Kirith has her blade touching Saltbrook's neck. It takes a lot of
unpleasant.
balls to do what you just did, Saltbrook. Takes a lot of courage. And I commend you for that. But
Yes,
why
well,
to try to speak to my father when I am right here? What is?
you
What?
had questions, and I have answers.
I did not want answers from him!
Unfortunately, there is nobody else I believe can tell us the answer. Now, I'd appreciate you if you put that flaming sword off of my neck and back into your sheath.
And I would appreciate it if you did not speak to the man who's trying to kill me!
Oh, I know he's trying to do that all too well.
And what else do you know? And she grabs you by the neck and just pushes the blade tighter against the skin of your neck. You can feel the slight burning. She hasn't ignited her sword, but it is starting to heat up.
It might be time for a little Eldritch trolling. Because I have Eldritch Push, which means I can blast people back if I hit them with an Eldritch Blast, but that might not be the best idea yet.
Go on, try it.
Okay, King. Telling my kids not to throw a grenade at the school. Can't do the TikTok voice properly. The fucking classic.
Bring my kids to throw a grenade at their school.
Thank you. That was perfect.
Thank you.
I will tell you one more time. Oh, hold on. I will tell you one more time to let me go.
Why do you speak to my father? Warlock! And she tightens the grip slightly. You know what she's asking you when she emphasizes the word warlock.
Is it not painfully obvious to you?
It would be if I did not consider you a friend. And she releases you, and you can see the tips of her horns normally glow. You see it just becoming dull, and tears begin streaming down her face. I trusted you. I trusted all of you. And she looks at you, Ethilden, tears streaming down her eyes. After everything I have done, and
Did you know who
Wait,
your dad was? Hold on.
yeah, what did
No.
I do?
that's
I
what
knew
she
who it was.
that's
Nobody
what
else
she
knew that,
thinks.
though.
That's what she thinks. She thinks you all know this.
I
Okay.
should.
So I'm just going to
Yes.
interject and like, wait. What is even going on? Saltbrook, do you even know about this?
Unfortunately, I do. But I have neglected to tell the rest of you for a different matter.
Then take a healthy step away from her and get to talking.
I'll remind you, she's the one who put a dagger to my throat, and not the opposite way.
Oh, I don't care by the sounds of things.
She
Just gonna
did mention
roll
that
my eyes at that classic elven impetuance. Grr, if you will.
I have one
As
priority, and that's my wife.
I will throw a high explosive grenade at you and dab out of the
just
way.
just to take one moment, because I know moments like these can get a bit stressful. We're all good. Everything's good. Everyone, all comfy.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm good.
Okay. Wanted to check. Let's keep going.
Well, as you may have heard from the moments of screams, her father is what would you say, a lich? Yes. One whom
A
in
demon.
a dark
A demon specifically. Yeah.
demon, whom in my time after a event that I'm sure that you have all at least heard of once in our travels together, had come to me at my lowest to offer, well, backwards, I offered him a deal. And thusly I can shoot lightning from my hands now. I give like a little finger wag to kind of give my little hands a point. Yes. Now, as you well know, demons are known for their amounts of desires and task giving. I'm gonna look. I don't know if I want to drop the fact that Ripley was supposed to kill her on her. I don't know if she's known that in the past. But I feel like a certain emotional state is not the best to infuriate at the moment.
Omitting it is your choice. Obviously, none of the other players can act on it, since it is just player knowledge and not character knowledge. So
Yes.
it's your choice.
You want the full story, Kirith?
And she stays silent. She's essentially trying to hold back her tears, trying to stay resolute even in a moment like this.
Actually, I could just pop that too. It would have been super useful. I'm trying to think of a way to. Is the demon goober always watching, or just sometimes watching?
Not always watching. No, he has
Hmm.
several other warlocks that are that have entered a pact with him. You were just one of many.
Did he seem busy when I was down there?
Yes, he seemed like he was lost in thought. It took a moment for him to even notice that you were there. And this is unnatural. That has never happened before. He was always waiting for you. When you scried before. This is the first time that he seemed not surprised, but
Unexpected.
it was unexpected, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is very unnatural for him specifically.
I will also note that by this point, Gimnir has made his way over to Kira.
Okay.
Now,
I would also like to get closer to the scenario here, to my homegirl.
Now, I will have to make this quick, because I know not if he is staring at me as I speak to you, or if he is busy elsewhere. But I will tell you the full, unadulterated truth that I have just heard from his mouth. Ripley was not whom he said he was at this moment. I don't know how much you know about him. I would assume much, since you were in a party with him for a time, but he seemed to have an alter ego that appeared before us today. This is his father. I assume you know enough about Kalashtar to know something about what I'm saying. Now, Ripley is in service, was, or is, I don't know, in service of your father's goals, much as I unfortunately am as well. He was the first one sent to kill you to bring you back to your father.
She again points the sword towards you, says he would never do that.
I hate to tell you. He didn't, but I doubt the Lich is lying to me. Or
It's
maybe
a
he
demon,
is.
of course it lies.
Yeah.
My father has
Well.
no use of lying. But that makes
No.
no sense. Why would Ripley kill himself if he needed to kill me?
Perhaps he didn't wish to face you, or perhaps he didn't wish to do the deed. I don't really want to either, to be frank, because as you may have guessed, I've also been assigned the same task. And with that, I'm going to take a little step back just to prove my intent of not instantly murdering her, which would be a great cinematic moment, but I'm choosing not to morb right now.
It would be. It would be the. I mean, I know that the entire party would turn on you immediately. But yeah.
Oh, my blades are still ignited. I'm
Um,
not fucking around.
Yes, and you have never really trusted me with anything. That's not in character. I just wanted to use the voice, and because it will inevitably leave me.
That was good though. Fuck it, make it canon.
It's good.
I will in a minute if it's the moment makes it so. Now, the mentioning of this is a risk to myself, because I am liable to be consumed by your father at any given point should I fail in my own tasking. However, I have done my best to do what I always have, buy time. So, to let you all know in advance, because I feel it's prudent now, Ripley Sr. will be hunting us down until, well, Kirith, I'm going to point to Kirith, until Kirith is killed. To my knowledge, and to the best that was described to me, the thing that is Ripley Sr. is essentially unstoppable and will not be stopping until we are all dead and Kirith is back with her father. Now, what makes this difficult is we're all friends here. I'm going to look around the entire quote-unquote room, and I really don't wish to be the one to start killing people for no good reason. Hence why I have not stuck a dagger in your back when we were all asleep, or we were all talking, or we were all on a journey, or anything. I've had this task for months now, and I've yet to fulfill on it. And I begin to fear my time is coming to an end to finish it, so I very well may be running on the last few months of my life. Is that enough information for you, or do you want me to continue?
I expected you to lie. I expected you to try and escape from this.
Your father is one of many things, but as you said, he does not lie. And you wanted the truth, so I gave it to you. And I'll be frank with you. I'm living on borrowed time as it is. I don't have much else left to lose.
She sheaths her sword. And she looks over at you, Ethel. And there is remorse in her eyes. You know what this look means. And she looks back at Saltbrook. Fine. You've had the chance to kill me several times and you've yet to do it. I am sorry that my father is doing this. We will find a way out for you and for me. And
That is what I'm hoping for.
and she reaches out a hand towards you.
It is so hard not to, like put out a hand and just deny it, do a fucking hair swirl, but I will take the hand and shake on it.
When the time comes, if it comes to it, and she takes a moment to look at all of you. Let it be me, and not all of you. I am no hero. Never been, never will be. And I certainly never asked for what Ripley did. One of the reasons to bring back that fucker is to tell him myself. But I'd be lying if his death has not taught me one thing. You put family first, whether you have chosen it or not. So if it comes to it, if it comes between my death or yours, all of you, let it be me.
Well, it's a good thing it won't come to that.
And the somber, mournful feeling that was just happening, it disappears because she turns around and says, "Well, I know, but I'm talking about as if it were to happen." Dummy, swear to God. Right.
Well, don't. And Ethel goes up and like hugs her.
Yeah, yes. Hugs are nice. Okay. And she pats you on the back. She's back to her awkward self when it comes to emotional stuff.
Gimnir just leans over and just sort of nudges Kira. So, did you know about Saltbrook's sad backstory? I don't know if I ever heard about it.
That's not the half of it.
Yeah, we were there.
I'll be honest, I wasn't really paying attention.
You see
Asshole.
Kira. Kirith, she hears this, and she begins to try to stifle a laugh. Right, so, and she claps her hands. Where to now? What are we doing, huh?
Well, it sounds like we have somebody after us, so we should probably get on the move. At the very least. What direction are we going?
Well, we could go back down the mountain and try to signal Mochi. Maybe the teleportation circle is still working. That's a possibility.
Oh, I hate the way teleportation makes me feel.
You get used to it.
Ethel, while they're talking, Slayer approaches you, and he signs to you. You were attempting to bring back a Warforged, correct?
He just nods.
Do you have the pieces that you need?
No.
I can't speak for any locations in Faerun you might be able to find what you need.
Is he speaking out loud or is he signing?
He's signing.
Yeah.
But if you know anyone from Eberron, or a way to get there, there are places. Many places.
Well, then we may be in luck. Today's court jester is from Eberron.
Court jester? I do not understand.
Oh, I just called him a court jester for all his goofy shenanigans today.
Fuck you! Fuck you, Baltimore!
No problems, bud.
Thanks, King.
He looks at you, Saltbrook, and he looks at Ethildon for translation, and he asks, "You are from Eberron?
Yes.
Where?"
I'm just going to gesture to the banner. Fairhaven.
He bows slightly, and he signs, "I am very sorry."
I don't understand what he's saying. I don't know what sign language is.
I'm fucking telling you, you
Yeah.
ninny.
Whoa! All right.
That
Shall
was just to kind
we?
of give a
Shall we get on the road
on the road again.
now?
I can't wait to get on the road again.
My question then becomes, where would you all go? What is the next destination? How do you want to go about this?
Does Slayer know about places we can go to get into Eberron?
Um. Oh, you may ask that. Yeah.
I shall ask him that question.
He says, "The dimensional gates that brought me here, that brought Grimorian here, and the other 8 pilgrims, they closed after we made it here. You would need someone powerful, very powerful, to open one gate, let alone 10.
Well, aren't we in luck?
Where are the other 8?
He motions for your pack, Ethel.
Mhm.
And from within, he pulls out a map of the Sword Coast. And he points to a few specific locations. This is wrong. There. He points to a few specific locations. He points to the crossroads of Amn, right here. Then he points to west of Anaurok in what is Coalition territory. Then he points over to Raven Rock, near the spine of the world. He then says, he points to himself and to the south of the High Ice. He then points to you, Ethel, and you understand that it is supposed to be Grimorian. And he points to Amphail, north of Waterdeep. And he says, "I do not know where the others are."
So when you say someone powerful, we don't have to be talking about Mochi, right? We can find another.
We're probably talking about Mochi.
Oh, we're most definitely not.
God damn it.
He signs, "I do not know what this mochi is, but it sounds chaotic."
Oh, you're lucky you forgot him.
I shall be back in a moment.
Okay.
Break time? Be
Sure.
here for like an hour.
We can take a break.
Drink some water, go pee.
Yep. 5-minute break, everybody. See y'all soon. All right, we are back. So, what does everybody want to do?
I think we could go to Eberron, probably.
Okay. How
Let's
would
get
you
Mochi and get to Eberron.
Ebibon?
Mochi!
Damn.
Oh my god.
Damn.
Goddamn. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I broke the goddamn wheel.
All right. You all make your way back towards the teleportation circle. And as you arrive there, you find yourselves back at this location. Give it a moment. We got 422 things to load.
Where are all the skibbity toilets?
The who?
Damn it, am I doing the...
All right. As you make your way back to the teleportation circle, you find that it is still active. It is currently roughly 1:30 in the morning. And as you return, the candles on the altar are still going. They're still lit. It's almost as if this place has not changed at all. Is there anything you would like to do here before we go to the airship again?
Is that whack ass voice about?
You can try and see if you hear it. Try to communicate with
What
it
do you
if
want me
you'd
to roll
like.
me? I'm sorry?
Would you like to try and communicate with it? Would you try to just listen?
It was just like, can I just like sense it? Or yeah, like try to listen for it?
Sure. Give me two checks, a perception check and an arcana check.
Okay. 12 perception. And yes, that is how you say it. And a 12 arcana.
How much was the perception? Sorry. Was it
Also
both
12.
12s? Okay. On 12s, the presence is still there surrounding you, but you don't detect anything physically. You don't, with your regular senses, you detect nothing.
Mm. I will come back at a later date.
All right. Okay. Anyone else?
Nope, I think I'm good.
Into the breach.
You all step through and find yourselves on Mochi's airship once again. Except you're not.
What?
Seven's not here. He stayed behind, remember?
Oh.
Yeah, he stayed in Wyndburgh. Once you return to Mochi's ship, as soon as you make it back, you see the doors to Mochi's quarters just slam open, and from inside you see him just scurry out and go to the edge of the ship, and you just hear him go oh. Oh, you're back. Hello. How was it? You have a good time?
Well, we're being hunted down.
By who?
A dead guy.
A revenant.
Yeah, one of those.
Oh, fuck! Kareth, what happened? And she turns to look at Mochi. And she just walks up the steps, makes her way to Mochi, and just gives him a hug without saying anything. Oh, fuck!
Is Butters aboard?
No.
Damn it. Could use
Mo-
a therapy dog, but no.
Mochi just looks at all of y'all, and he goes, Is it Ripley? Like, what happened? How'd you get her to this state?
Ripley Senior.
Oh. Oh, that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay. Jeez. All right. That's really bad. Whew. You see him just sort of breathing a lot, trying to center himself. So he's a revenant. And he's after you. This is it.
What, that freaks even you out?
Oh, that freaks even me out. You have no idea how difficult a revenant could be to deal with. What time is it? He pulls out a pocket watch and he's like, all right, we got roughly 20, we got a 23-hour head start. Okay, how long ago would you say that you got him?
15 minutes.
Okay, make that 22 hours and 40 minutes. 45. Something like that. Revenants come back every 24 hours. And they come back stronger every time. Where to?
I think we can handle him.
Yeah, alright. Where to now, kids? Uncle Mochi will take you wherever you want to go.
Okay then. Open a gate to Eberron.
What? Huh?
You heard me, crazy old man.
He looks at Kirith, who still has her head buried in his beard, just silently sobbing a little bit. Want to go to Eberron?
Yes.
I do believe that is what she just said.
Ah, fine. I need to make sure, because... fine. 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 And he begins to set a course. And he sets a course northwest from the Star Mounts. Where? There we go. A big party right here. Over the next few days, you make your way to the northwest. It takes 6 days. 6 days? Hold on. I'm trying to remember which. Yeah, okay. So it is 6 days. You all get a long rest. And you each get 2 training sessions while we're on the way. I'm going to need D6s from each of you. So
2.
2d6 actually.
First set is for Kira.
Grand total of 3.
6 total.
Okay.
Second set is Gimnir's.
Yep.
Six total.
Wow.
6 for me as well.
Damn. Okay.
Satan!
Kirith
very
gets.
tiny girls.
Yeah, exactly. Kirith gets an 8. Slayer gets a 6 as well. What the fuck? Ethel and Saltbrook. Tell me a moment of bonding that the two of you had during
I
these
don't think
6
our
days.
characters like each other very much.
Something happened and you bonded over it. What is it?
Our best moment of bonding was throwing rocks at each other.
I put
Yes.
laxatives in a cereal.
I tripped her on the way to the bathroom.
I
Mm.
feel like the only level of respect that we have between the two of us is being soldiers.
Purely cordial. We cleaned our weapons in the same room, and that was about it.
I thank you for not killing Kith.
You are welcome.
Kira and
Look at
Gimnir.
her the wrong way, you're dead.
Kira and
A
Gimnir,
dismissive hand gesture.
tell me how you two bonded on the way.
All right, give me just a second.
Mm-hmm.
Could you skip us real quick so that way we can keep the things flowing and I'll think of something?
Sorry?
There's
What'd you say?
Oh, I was just asking, is it possible to skip us real quick while I think of something? Because there's
Sure.
another pair, right?
Yeah, sure. Kirith and Slayer, you all witnessed this on the night of the first day of travel. You saw the two of them sitting at the edge, at the right edge on the front of the ship, in the middle of the night, as Slayer was watching the stars. You couldn't see much. You couldn't hear much of what they were talking about, but you did hear Kirith laugh. Y'all good?
Mhm.
Okay, you want to go?
Us?
You want to go now?
Yeah, we can go.
Yeah.
So, Gimnir goes up to Kira while on the ship and he's like, okay, so while you were training for the monk thing, did you learn anything like the things in the little comic books we would read, like ninjas?
I just I laugh a little well and you know what, Gimnir? I absolutely did. Everything we read was true.
Oh my god. Could you teach me something?
You know? Get your dexterity up a little bit and maybe I might I they might be a little too advanced for you right now.
Okay, I'll cat-like reflexes. You got it.
You'll get there.
Love that. Ethel and Kira. You guys, let me hear it.
Would it
So-
be what? Sorry.
I think Kira would just be checking in on Ithilden, like as a friend, honestly. So how are you holding up?
I mean, I'm not holding anything at the moment.
What?
I was like, well, I'm not holding anything at the moment. Like, human phrases go over her head every now and then.
How are you doing? Like, really?
Oh,
We've had a rough couple of months here, with not a whole lot of time to stop. Are you doing okay?
yes. Just the most awkward. Yes.
Sure. I believe that. How's Thalion?
Getting bigger and stupid by the day. How about you? You home yet?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
No, I was just like, how about you? You miss home yet?
I always miss home when we're gone. But we'll always go back, right?
Certainly hope so. I never got to tell you, but you did really good at the high ice.
Thanks. I appreciate the use of Thalion there and being able to communicate with all of you there. All of that.
If you ever want more bow training, just say the word.
I'll take you up on it while we're traveling.
Instant +1.
Saltbrook and Gimnir. Your turn.
Play a game of basketball on the court.
A what?
I don't
Hey,
know.
basketball can raise my dexterity.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Saltbrook can get super perception.
I could get super perception. Yeah, I'll get super perception.
All right. On the third day, you see Slayer and Kirith. She's reading a book. He's just sitting next to her, and he's just not doing anything. He's in what's known as standby mode, essentially how Warforged sleep. So he's just sitting there on his knees with his hands resting on his lap, and his head is bobbing slightly forward, as if he's nodding into sleep, but he never seems to stop. All right, we have 2 training sessions for everybody. You can resolve those right now, or we can do that post session. So if anyone already knows what they would like to train on the way, now's the time.
I'm going to train with Ithilden in bows.
Okay. Nice. You using both for bows?
Yeah.
Okay. Would that be short bow or long bow?
Short bow.
Okay. Ethel, what about you?
That was a great question, homeboy. I don't know.
We can resolve it after, if you'd like.
I was gonna say, come back to me, King.
Sure. Gimnir.
I will be training up a little bit of dexterity.
Okay. You using both?
Yep.
Okay. So for main attributes like those, it does take 4 sessions to up one. So
Absolutely fine. I can just get a start on it now.
there you go. So that's 2 sessions down. You'll need 2 more to increase your dex by 1. Saltbrook.
I'm dumping it all into perception.
How many how many have you had?
I think, how many was it to get to? Because we went to proficient,
Yes.
the last one, which
The
I don't recall how many that one was.
the next one would be expertise. So
Yes.
you would need I'd say 4 more to get to expertise
Jesus.
with perception.
Is that with the 2 that I put in already? Or in considering putting in?
No, if you were to use 2 right now, you would need 2 more.
Okay, I'll put 2 into that then, and then next time it comes around, I'll put 2 more in.
Okay, so I'll do 2 out of 4 to expertise. There we go. Cool. Cool. So you'll see that in our page, it says enter source notes. Your skill proficiency level says proficient. You're 2 out of 4 to expertise.
Very cool.
While time passes, you notice that Slayer Slayer spends his time observing you, Kira, and he has a small coin in his hands, and he's training with it to essentially make it disappear with sleight of hand. So he has become half proficient with sleight of hand. All right. As time passes, you arrive to the southeast of Flint Rock. Ethilden, you've been here before. Not this direction, but you see Flint Rock, you recognize it. And Mochi begins to set the airship down on the northern shores of the Desern River. And as you all arrive, you see him pull out of his quarters these two backpacks of holding, but these are some massive backpacks of holding. These are huge. And he begins very slowly pulling out equipment from inside. And he gets to work on preparing this spell. Let's see. Okay. As he continues his work, you find that this is taking a toll on him. This is a very long and arduous process. And it'll take a few hours to finish. He essentially sets up his workshop on the outside of the ship and goes to work. Kirith and Slayer stay next to him as he's working. What would you all like to do in the meantime, if anything?
you would.
Huh?
Oh.
I couldn't hear what you said.
Tesco.
Oh no, I was just gonna say Gimnir approaches Saltbrink and says, "So, wanna gamble a little?"
I have a date with 3 very sexy tieflings, and I miss them dearly.
What the fuck?
Don't worry about it. They're not for you.
So you're going into town, Ethel?
Yes.
Okay. Anyone would like to follow her?
Sure, I suppose so.
Yeah, I can
I'm
use
also
getting off
dragging
of the
Kenneth
ship.
with me.
Kira still hates airships. She's off.
As you approach the city of Flint Rock, you are met with a quite impressive sight. The city is circular. It also resides on top of a hill. And as you approach, you start realizing that on the battlements of this circular fortress, there are several small shacks and residences. And as you approach the front gate, you see 2 guards standing there. But as you're approaching, you also see hundreds, if not over 1,000 soldiers wearing Federation red in their uniforms, passing by the front of the gate, headed east. Among them you see dwarfs, humans, dragonborns, elves. You see tieflings. You see gnomes and halflings, even ogres and Goliaths. All of them looking so different from each other, but bearing the same colors on their uniforms. They also bear specific insignia, almost a patch on their shoulders. And it reads 37th Federation Infantry Division. And they march orderly towards the east.
That's not good.
The 2 guards on the drawbridge into Flint Rock just stand there in awe, watching as the soldiers march to the east. You see some children here and there staring in awe at these soldiers. And one of them runs up to a soldier with a dandelion in their hand and offers it up. And the soldier smiles and picks up the dandelion and gives the kid a nod and then continues on their way. What would you all like to do?
Like I said, I have people to see.
All right. You all begin to head inside Flint Rock. And the inside of the city is just as impressive as the outside. To give you all an idea of what this looks like, I'll draw it. The city itself is circular like this, and it seems to be organized in various levels, with the main opening being a small street, cramped with houses on top of each other, wall to wall, ceiling to ceiling, roof to roof. And at the center, you see several buildings. You see a tavern directly ahead. You see a small castle. You see some shops here and there. And right at the center, you see a town square. There are staircases that interconnect the various levels of the city. And as far as you look upwards, there are residences and shops and buildings and thousands of people walking here and there. The city is bustling with an energy that you haven't seen since Waterdeep. It's cramped, but it's home for these people. Walking through the streets, you come across the city square, and there a crowd has gathered. And you hear jeers and insults being hurled as you all see a man, roughly 30 to 40 years old, wearing what looks like Federation garb. And you hear the town crier speaking. Another one of the Coalition's spies has been discovered, and by the laws of Flint Rock shall be executed for espionage and treason of the highest order. And when he speaks this, you hear cheers erupt from the crowd as the man is escorted to what looked like gallows, but you see no noose prepared. The man is then sat down on a chair made of metal, and a large, brutish man wearing an executioner's hood approaches the chair. The man is restrained, and the town crier lists the accusations one more time, as is protocol. And he speaks. You have any last words, spy? And through tears, this man speaks. Federation will fall, and the Coalition will rule this entire continent. You'll all see. The town crier gives a nod to the executioner, who removes his gloves, and electricity sparkles between his fingers as he grabs a hold of the chair and electrocutes the man. The crowd roars and cheers as this happens. A few seconds go by, and Sulprik, you realize that the spell being used is Shocking Grasp, a low damage spell, something that would take a lot to kill someone. A few seconds go by, and smoke begins to rise from this man's body. Everybody give me perception checks.
Oops, that's not correct. That's a persuasion check. Yes, sir. Perception.
25.
Okay.
I rolled a 9.
What anyone?
Okay. Ymnir?
Give me a second. Eight.
Nice. Kira and Ethel, on a 25 and a 21 respectively, you both can tell that this man is dead. And you see as he wets his pants, as he does. There is thunderous applause and cheering, and the crowd begins to dissipate as the large, brutish executioner begins to haul away the body of the coalition spy. Ethel, you hear a familiar voice. Well, look who it is. The wind must be favorable to us today, for it has brought us a gift in the shape of a woman.
My girl.
From behind you, you see, over your shoulder, you see, I believe, Ophelia. You see Ophelia. Everybody else except for Ethel, you see this dark purple tiefling with long jet black hair, wearing this beautiful silken dress. It's a very revealing dress, and she seems extremely comfortable with exactly what she's wearing in the middle of all these people. This is a very beautiful woman, very confident. And Ethel, whereas her dress used to be blue, it is now red. Closer in hue to Federation red. Not exactly, but closer in hue. And standing next to her is her younger sister, Antigone. Another tiefling. Very, very pinkish skin. Also jet black hair. And the two of them stand there. Big smiles on their faces.
And I give them big smiles and huggies back.
They hug you as well. And they look at the party. And Ophelia begins, "So, these must be your friends. The ones that you ran away from, huh?"
Oh, hush.
Well, it is my very utmost pleasure to make your acquaintance. I am Ophelia, and this is my sister Antigone. And you all see Antigone very shyly just give a small curtsy. She does not have the same confidence as her older sister. What brings you to our fun little city? As you can see, we've had some entertainment the past few weeks, what with coalition spies being discovered here and there.
Yeah, when did the Federation settle in like this?
Oh, this has been a Federation territory for as long as we can remember. The whole Federation soldiers being around, well, with things happening in the border. She gives a sigh as she says this. With things happening in the border, Federation presence has only increased. Which is good for my business. As you know, soldiers are a needy lot. But it's not all roses as to be expected.
So long as you guys are alright. Where's your third?
Well, about that. Teresa has been sent to the front lines. She is part of the Federation, after all.
Do you know where she was sent?
Yes. Last time I heard, she was sent to Hellgate Dell, near the far forest. She's with the 17th Infantry Division, and from what I heard from the Faerun Deliverer, things haven't been exactly ideal near the border this time. But we have received some letters from her, and she seems to be doing well. Promoted herself to corporal so far, which is a welcome change of pace. She sends money back to us, and we've been able to, keep ourselves safe and well taken care of. So we're both very grateful to her.
Well, that's good to hear at the very least.
But come. Let's make our way to the tavern. Well, what are you all doing here? And she begins to lead you all down the street.
Just stopping through, really.
Stopping through. That's unusual of you, Ethildon. Last I hear, as far as I know, since the last time you were here, you're not the type to just stop for no reason at all. You always seem to have something going on. But to be traveling with such beautiful companions, and she looks at all of you, Saltbrook, Gimnir, Kira, you must have something fun planned.
I guess fun is one way to describe it.
Kira, she looks at you with a look that kind of says, get a load of her, almost. And she says, always the somber one, right? You all must be so used to this kind of thing from her.
It's kind of her MO, but we love her.
And you're right to do so. This here is a diamond in the rough.
Oh, shucks. Would Thalion still be able to squiggle squirm his way into, like, the tavern like he did last time?
Way too big now.
Yeah. Damn it, I wanted her to see him all big.
You can call him if you so choose.
Haha, fuck no.
Okay.
Fuck that jazz.
Well, walking down the streets of Flint Rock, you continue to see Federation soldiers. Many of them injured, some of them missing limbs. Almost all of them with looks in their eyes that tell of the horrors that they have seen in the front lines. These are men and women who are exhausted. Men and women who do not wish to go back to the front. Approaching the front of the tavern, you all see this large, half-giant man waiting at the front. He seems to be cleaning one of the walls of the establishment of blood. And Ophelia speaks. Oh, Jerky, look who the wind brought us this time. And he turns around and he opens this big grin on his face. And he jogs over with very heavy footfalls and hugs Ethildon in this bear hug that just lifts her off the ground.
Missed you too, Jerky.
It's good to see you.
Okay.
Turkey,
Can you put me down?
put her down. All right, sorry. And he puts you down. And Ophelia asks, well, are you all looking to stay a couple of days? We do have some accommodation that we can make for you all.
I do not believe we have a day to stay.
Oh, what a pity that is. I half expected you all to stay for a while and let us cook some dinner for you, entertain you with some of our newest musicians.
We could probably withstand the night. We're waiting for something.
And what would that be, Ethildon?
A geriatric mess to get his shit together.
uh, I've had my fair share of those, unfortunately. She guides you all into the tavern. And as you walk in, you hear an argument between a halfling woman and a half-orc man. Well, how are we supposed to do this without fire cords, then? We're supposed to do it the same way that we always have. That dramatic baboon is not necessary for our performances. Well, I'd say differently. Since he's been gone, you have been moping along the whole time, and who has to deal with it but me? I have not been moping around. I'm perfectly content and perfectly fine without fire cords in our band. And you do well to remember that. Right, sure, fine. Go on, walk away as you always do. It's not like we have a performance in 20 minutes. I'll be back in time for the performance. Or, you know what? If you're so good, why don't you just play it yourself? I'm sure you can find just as good of a bard to replace me. No one's trying to replace you, Annika. Well, could have fooled me. And she just bursts right next to you guys, just past you. Out of my way, I've got places to be. And that's our entertainment. Great. Ophelia looks at you all and says, just, why don't you take a seat? Stay while I got something to resolve. She makes her way over to the half-orc, and they begin to speak in hushed tones. What would you like to do?
I will get a drink.
Rowan's away for just a second, but Gimnir wants to try hearing it.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
One sec, sorry, my computer's being dumb.
All good.
$19.
A 19. On a 19, he hears the following conversation. Now Annika's gone. I'm by myself. Fire cords are somewhere off in the city, trying to provoke us. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to just put on a show all by myself? No, you're not. I understand that this is difficult for you. Okay? But you're Margit Ike, right? You are the greatest percussionist here in Faerun. I'm sure that if there's one person that can put on a one-man percussion show, it's you, Mr. Ike, with all due respect. And as for fire cords, you shouldn't worry about him. He left, right? He left the band. And if Annika is focused on that, then let her be. I hired all of you. I'll still pay your fee. Just perform, as you always do. How am I supposed to put on a show with nothing but bongos? I don't know. But if there's one man that can figure that out, it's you, Mr. Ike. Fine. Just give me an ale, and I'll figure something out.
Grimnir is just wondering how big Dirk and Ike's family is at this point.
Give me a perception check, Gimnir.
That's a 12.
With a 12, you do notice that this half-orc's left tooth, the main tusk that protrudes out of their mouths, is eerily similar to Durrican's.
Interesting. They must be siblings.
What would you all like to do?
I don't know.
I'm gonna get a drink at the bar.
Nice. As you approach the bar, you see this robust dwarf with no beard, but a very long ponytail. His skin is fairly tan, and his nose is very bulbous. He seems to be running a tight ship, barking orders here and there for the chefs within the kitchen. What's it gonna be, laddie? What can I do for you? He asks you, Saltbrook.
Saltbrook died. He had a stroke.
Czar. Hello. Something must have happened to his connection. Anybody else would like to go in the meantime? Anyone?
Gimner's gonna walk up and be like, do you guys have any fish?
Fish. Aye, we do. Straight from the Desolate River. What are you looking for?
Breaded fish.
Breaded fish. We do have a breaded fish curry, if that would interest you.
I'll take it.
It'll be 5 gold.
And he hands over 5 gold.
Pleasure doing business to you. It'll be at your table in about, like that 5-10 minutes at most. And he turns around towards the kitchen and says, "Oi! Get me the breaded one with the curry for the table number 7! Go on, you crafty curs!" Thank you very much, sir. He'll be with you in a moment.
Does anyone else want any food?
I'll just share some of yours, I guess. I'm not that hungry.
I'll take the prime rib.
Prime rib? Closest thing I can get to you would be,
Good enough.
Sword Coast seafood paella. Would that be enough?
Good enough.
Or the salted sea serpent. That also goes well.
I'll do the sea serpent.
We also have the dragonfish fillet with spicy dragon pepper sauce.
I'll do the fillet.
All right. Sounds good to me. Oi! We'll have a fillet on the Barbie over the second side of the road. Table 3 again. Thank you, sir. I'll be with you in about 10-15 minutes.
Well,
I would like to speak with Antigone.
Okay. She's standing over by the bar, looking as shy as she always does.
Go speak to her.
Okay, speak.
My little meow meow. Hold on. I'm adjusting. I go up to her.
Okay.
Okay,
She doesn't say anything. She's very shy.
shut up. I am also shy because she's a pretty girl. I guess I just asked her, like, so how have things been?
Well, you know, with Teresa out and away, just being me and Ophelia. What with the whole debacle here about the Twilight Force.
Twilight Force, what, you're musicians?
Yeah. You know about them? I love their music. It's a pity that Fire Chords is no longer a part of the band, though.
Maybe he'll come around.
Well, Ike and the two Banner Lords, they're not very keen on having him back. As far as I heard, he's burned a few bridges. Fire Chord, burning bridges. Get it?
Oh, I'm glad to see that musicians can still make a living in this kind of environment.
If
But
any,
you and Ophelia have been okay? The soldiers haven't been a problem?
No, not really. I mean, some of them are a bit brutish, but you know that, being a soldier yourself.
These public executions, when did these start?
They started a couple weeks ago, as soon as spies started appearing.
Spies, huh?
Yeah, as far as we understand, they're coalition spies sent here to keep an eye on things. Though I would never have imagined that Mr. Julius was a spy. He seemed so nice. Goes to show, can't trust everyone.
Mr. Julius. Who was that?
Oh, he was the cobbler down the street. Apparently he's been having these secret meetings during the night in the sewers. And they got caught. And as far as we understand, it was some sort of coalition meeting. Something to do with the city's water system. That's all I heard.
Interesting, to say the least.
I try to keep my nose out of these things. I'm just waiting for the day that I'm able to leave.
You want to get out of here?
Of course I
Where
do.
you want to go?
Well, either Waterdeep or Baldur's Gate.
Well, there you'll just find yourself in more Federation territory.
Well, that's not a bad thing, though. I'd rather stay in
It's not?
Federation territory than stay in Coalition territory. At least I'm still able to do something I enjoy. You haven't heard?
Heard what now?
Well, in the Federation territory, you're still able to do the things you want to do. Service to the military is not mandatory. Coalition territories, it's conscription. You either fight or you're arrested. At least here we still have freedom.
She's kind of like shakes her head. She's like, if you and your sisters ever get in trouble here, there'll always be a place for you in Sylvania.
Sylvania? I don't think so. Especially not for someone like me.
Why, like you?
I'm not an elf, Ethel.
Nah, that'll change.
I'm sure you mean well. But we've been hearing rumors that everyone that tries to get into Sylvanian territory who's not an elf and who's not a member of the coalition, you're just going to be turned away.
Mm. Since I was here last, has there been any talks about metal people around here?
Metal people? Um, well, there was something about... This was right after you left. Must have been a couple of days at most after you left. People were talking about a large metal-esque person in Longsaddle. They had these robes that had this bright purple on them. And one of their hands was... it's silly, but it was red of metal.
Have there been rumors of it being back since?
No, last I heard, anything close to that would have been down south near the green fields. But that's really far away from here.
Okay. I don't know what else to ask her, so.
Missy Thilden, if you don't mind me asking. You're one of those adventurers, right?
Sure, I guess.
Adventurers don't just show up in places like these, like Flint Rock. Why are you here?
You could say our adventure, or our mission. We're after some things to help a friend of ours. But I think this is just more or less a layover.
I see. So is that why you said you couldn't stay too long?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, I just miss my sister, is all. I hope she's okay.
Well, if we're out that way, we'll check in on her.
You will?
Of course. You guys are my friends.
Oh, okay. She reaches into her pouches and she pulls out a small necklace. It appears to be handmade. If you see Teresa, would you give this to her? I meant to give it to her before she left, but yeah, it all happened so fast and they needed more people in the front lines.
Of course.
Thank you.
And you guys just be safe and keep your heads low.
So long as the Federation is here, we'll be safe.
I'm sure.
The plates of food begin to arrive at the table.
Delicious.
Gimnir's gonna definitely just start digging into the curry, but he also gives another pair of silverware to Kira so she can enjoy it too.
There's a fire in the hearth. The air is warm. You hear people talking and laughing all around you. You begin to hear what sounds like a drum solo, but it just sort of goes on for a while. The performance has begun, and for about 20, 30 minutes, you just enjoy your time together and your food. And then you hear it. Inside one of your pockets, the sending stone is vibrating.
I will answer my rock phone.
Hello? This thing working?
Yes. Yes, Mochi, stop yelling.
Hi. Okay, so, real quick, y'all have to get here, like, really fast.
Okay.
There is literally no time.
Okay.
So,
Dang, let's go.
let's go. Chop, chop, people.
Okay, yeah, Gimner starts going.
I'll
And
get
this
going.
grabs-
In his
and grabs
mouth as his
Kira.
hand.
We all gotta get going.
As you make your way out of the city, you see that another Federation division is following in the footsteps of the 35th. Their arm bracers say 47th Infantry Division. And above your heads, you hear this buzzing sound as 50, maybe 75, even 100 Drake Wardens zip across the sky to the east, as well as airships. Maybe 20 of them, 25 of them, all of them armed to the teeth, making their way through. And as you make your way back to the airship, you see Mochi, Kirith, and Slayer as Mochi is working on a portal. It's a very large portal. Where is it? I'll have to stop my stream for a moment while we do this. But as you all approach, you see that Kirith and Slayer are both essentially covering Mochi as he is casting this spell. Ah, there you are. Good to see you're back. Cool, yeah, great to see you too, Mochi.
Yeah, what was the rush for?
The rush is simple. You hear a whistle in the air as Kirith moves to the side and puts her shield up, and an arrow hits her shield and gets deflected onto the ground. This is what the rush is for.
And that is...
What do you think it is? You think that arrow came by to just say hi to me?
Who is shooting arrows?
See you.
Oh, great.
A voice lingers in the air. There is a chill that runs up all of your spines. And from the darkness, in another direction completely, Ethel, give me a dexterity acrobatics check.
Oh, okay. Oh, me. You know what? Inspiration. I don't care. 19.
You hear the whistle at the last possible second, and you instinctively move out of the way as an arrow just whizzes by you and hits the portal that Mochi is making. As it passes by you, you recognize its fletchings, bone white. I need initiative from everyone.
Oh, 20.
Kira got 7.
10.
And Gimnir got 3. It says 4, but I have 1 less initiative than Kira, so it's actually +1.
Okay. I'll roll for Slayer. That's a 17. Kirith, that is a 19. And
May
I'll
I
roll.
preemptively
there.
roll an initiative for Thalion?
Yes, you may.
Full disclosure, he will be coming to the party. 15.
Okay.
Thank you, King.
There we go.
Sorry.
On the other side of the gate, across from it, you see shadow emerge from the ground like a rising fountain. It's amorphous in the beginning, and it slowly begins to take shape. And as it takes shape, you see it. Standing across the gate from you, Ripley. Ethel, your turn.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm really sorry to do this, but could we actually save the fight for next time? I think Tess and I are a bit too tired to do a full fight right now.
Sure, okay.
Like, I would love to, but she just got back from camping, and I'm also still recovering from a wedding yesterday.
Yeah, that's fine.
Honestly, I really like leaving sessions on like combat cliffhangers.
Yeah, cliffhangers are great. You just viewers, come back next time to see the awesome fight we're gonna have. There we go.
Viewers, come back next week to see the awesome fight between.
There. All right. Everybody, thank you so much for coming. I will see you all next time for session 34 as we witness the first return of Nemesis Ripley while Mochi works on the portal from Faerun to Eberron. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.
Bye, viewers.
Bye.